All right. Ho-ho. I've been talking a lot today. Welcome everyone on Periscope. We'll give everyone a chance to get on. Hello. Hey Keely, what's up? I just had Keely on my one of my business mentoring calls with my team. So that was a treat. All right. Hey everybody. Welcome. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to hop on. I know, Jenna. How did I get so lucky? That was great. Keely shared some great tips on finding her tribe on Instagram. All right. So welcome everyone on Periscope. I've got the Zoom room open as well. My name is Ange Peters. I'm the founder of Hol Fit, and I am a holistic health and business coach. And for those of you that want to connect with me, you can email me at heyholfit@gmail.com. Am I frozen? Somebody's telling me I'm frozen. Hey, Donna. Yay, my oil sister. All right. So we're going to get into Q&A. Electra, I just saw your question. Awesome. So here's how we're going to work this. I'll basically write down the first 10 questions that I see you guys post. And this can be anything related to health, business, whatever. Open book. All right. So if you have questions, post them to the Periscope wall. I'll jot them down real quick. And I'm just so happy you guys are all here. We'll go on until about 3 o'clock. Healthy, organic living on a budget. How did I grow my business in the beginning? Probiotics for kids. How to find leaders in your biz. All right. All right, I've got 4 questions so far. How to create a servant leadership team. Essential oils for kids safely. If I haven't read your question out, I didn't see it, so go ahead and post it one more time. Okay, I'll talk about that in probiotics for kids. I have 2 good builders and 1 weak leg. Should I create a standing leg or put a lot of volume with weak? My oil routine. I like that question. Tips on branding. Woo, you guys are like going for the juice today. All right, listen, let's cap it off there for right now. Okay. And I would love for those of you that are on Periscope to help me today with answering any questions, anything that you have learned in your experience that would help some of the people on live today. So the first question we'll tackle, healthy on a budget. Okay, I really love this topic because my most important message to those of you that are starting out and just wanting to create a healthier lifestyle for your family, focus on the area that's going to have the biggest impact, and often that will be your food. So, you know, obviously we know that our food supply today is not where it used to be. And there's a lot of things in our food today that shouldn't be there. So what I always recommend doing is go on to the Environmental Working Group's website. Hey, Noelle, ewg.org. And on there you will find a list of what's called the Dirty Dozen versus the Clean 15. This is a great list to help you when you're shopping to know what to purchase and invest organically into. That didn't come out right. What to invest organically into. What to buy that's organic. Yes, my scopes are saved unless we get into stuff that I can't have online. I do have the recording though, so you can email me if you want the recording. So start there, okay? Thank you. I think that's Jill, not totally sure, but thank you for posting that link. So EWG has a dirty dozen list that will tell you if you're gonna buy anything organic, here are the 12 things that are the dirtiest in terms of pesticides. Oh, sorry, hi Jess. So that's where you wanna start, is with your food, okay? And focus on eating as much whole food as you can, 80% whole food. So I'm a big believer in having some of that balance and having some of those treat foods throughout your week, you know? That this doesn't become something that is a stress on your home. So definitely start with food and start with water. So living healthy does not have to be complicated in any way. It really is about focusing on those core, you know, foods that you're eating all the time. Keep them clean, right? Drink good water, 3 liters of water a day. And then have the right tools in your home. This is why I'm a big believer in essential oils. They provide a key tool for people to be able to remove a lot of the synthetics from your home. That's really key. You know, you want to reduce your tipping point. So if you have a lot of chemicals in your home and you're eating a lot of chemicals and you're putting a lot of chemicals into your body through your food, your body is dealing with way too much. And that's when we see those top things triggered. Obesity, aging, disease, right? So start there. Yes, Noelle and I were at a meeting last month and we both had the same Papermate pens. This is like all I use. So yes, great question. Second question, do I recommend probiotics for kids and are they safe for babies? Yes. So I had 2 babies via C-section. It was not my plan the first time around. I was in an emergency situation and I had to deliver via C-section. So what I learned in going through that was that my babies did not get the proper solid base of gut flora that they get if they were vaginally delivered. So I learned early on the importance of supplementing with probiotics. What I first did initially until my kids were, what I learned initially when my kids were breastfeeding, and I did nurse my kids for 2 years, okay? So my goal was to give them a really good start. And I started supplementing my own self with probiotics, okay? And that helped some of that to come through the breast milk, but also just by nursing, your kids are actually getting some of your good bacteria as well. So it's a really good thing to do if you can. When my kids started having solid foods, that's when I did start to introduce some probiotics into their diet. So I bought, my favorite brand for kids is, well, there's 2 actually, Renew Life. It comes as a powder. And the other brand I love to use is HMF by Genestra. So those are 2 brands I've used in our home. They're both powdered, so it's really easy. It's tasteless. And my kids, I don't know if they're just a little odd or something, but they actually, I'll put the 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon on a spoon, and they'll actually just like lick their finger and dab it in the probiotics. It's like fun for them. It's like those, I can't remember the name of them, but remember those flavored sugar crystals we used to eat? If you're a kid of the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. It had like a candy stick and you'd lick the stick and dip it in the sugar. Fun Dip, yes. Oh my gosh. The things that I had when I was a kid that I would never in a million years give my kids now, but anyway. Yeah, it's like probiotic Fun Dip. So yes, probiotics are very important. Let your kids play in the dirt, you know, let them, you know, it's just, you know, you can incorporate obviously some probiotic rich foods into their diet. What I mean by that is things like organic tempeh, which is going to be better digested than just tofu. Organic Greek yogurt. Thank you, Jess. What else? Sauerkraut. My kids actually will eat sauerkraut. I buy a dill version, so it kind of is like, you know, dill relish almost, right? Sauerkraut, kefir. It's really good if you make smoothies for your kids. That's really good to add into your smoothies. All right, essential oils and kids' safety. Okay, so here's what I want to say about that topic. So absolutely you can be using essential oils with your kids. Now this, you know, I know there's a lot of fear out there. You can find arguments on either side of the spectrum using oils with your kids. So my very first question for a mom, whenever she is worried about using oils with her kids, is I ask her what she would have used if she didn't use oils. And often what that gets us thinking about is that we actually do use a lot of things that we aren't questioning enough. Foods that, you know, we start our babies up on, like grains, and just our food supply in general, vaccinations, medications, products. Johnson & Johnson's is in a huge lawsuit right now for using formaldehyde in their products. So what I do encourage moms to do is first apply that same question to everything they're doing before they start to question oils. Now, oils come from nature, right? So they're from plants. They are distilled from plants, and they are the pure plant if you're using a brand that you trust. Okay, so I love and use doTERRA in our home. I believe it to be the purest, highest quality oil you can use, which is very important when you're using something concentrated from nature. So what I do, and what I recommend every mom do, and really anybody who's brand new to oils should always do, is dilute. And to dilute oils, I don't have an example of a carrier oil in my office right now, but basically any plant-based oil, lipid, like olive oil, avocado oil, fractionated coconut oil, which is the preferred oil to use. These are all carrier oils, and you want to dilute your oils, because if your body is brand new to essential oils, sometimes you can have an unfortunate reaction take place in the area that you use the oil. So especially with babies or with seniors, you want to be diluting, or if you're brand new to oils. And the way you dilute is you basically take about a tablespoon of your carrier oil, and then you just add a drop of your essential oil into the carrier, and then you can apply that to the local area. Many people begin with essential oils through diffusing in their homes. So instead of using toxic fragrance in their home or burning toxic chemicals in candles, they will use diffusers to cleanse their air, to support their body systems, like their respiratory system. That's a great way to introduce oils to the home, and everybody benefits. So start slow. You can always add a little bit more oil. So it's best to dilute. And I also love that doTERRA actually has their top 9 essential oils and blends in pre-diluted roller bottles. Okay, so these are already diluted with fractionated coconut oil for easy application. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I use oils in our home. I have with my kids since they were babies. I've used oils myself in my own body for about 7 or 8 years now. I'm a huge believer in what they do to empower moms, and as we know, moms really greatly control the health in their homes. So if you aren't using them, I'd definitely look into it. Okay. Next question. I'm just kind of trying to cover off like the product questions, and I'll move more into some of the leadership questions. Hi, Chris. All right, so my oil routine. It kind of evolves, but I'll share like real top line. And if you go onto my Instagram account, my Instagram handle is the same as on Periscope, HOL_FIT. Probably a couple months ago I posted a very thorough snapshot of my day with oils. But I'll give you a real quick, some of my most meaningful uses. So when I get up in the morning, I love peppermint. It's my favorite essential oil. And I usually have this on my nightstand, and I love to just take a drop of it in my hand, just like this. And I kind of side pour it so not too much comes out. I rub my hands together, and I really deeply breathe in. And what I do is I'm often just kind of lying there in bed, and I will visualize the kind of day that I want to have. Okay, so sometimes my kids have already snuggled their way out of bed. Peppermint essential oil. I love it because it's really clearing for me, very cleansing. And again, I kind of do a little bit of visual, and I picture my day happening. I picture the things that I have committed to, and I kind of play them like a movie in my mind, so I can really get excited about the day I'm going to have. So it starts there, and then I go into my bathroom and I tongue scrape and I oil pull. So I mentioned this on the last scope. We talked a lot about oil pulling, but basically I take about a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, and I add either a drop of peppermint or On Guard. On Guard is doTERRA's immune boosting blend, and it has clove in it. Clove is really the essential oil, magic in this blend. So I'll add that to the tablespoon. I put it in my mouth and I rinse it around. Okay, and this is going to promote awesome oral health, healthier gums, reduce buildup on your teeth, and and just really give your mouth a very good boost at the start of the day. So I find it very invigorating. Jenna asked about peppermint affecting breastfeeding moms. Yeah, I have heard that, and I've heard both sides of it. So I would say again, you start slowly and just be a student of your body. You know, I have a lot of women I work with who have never had a problem with that, but there are women who say they have. So I think, you know, breastfeeding is so unique to every woman. So I would just use a little bit, start off small, and just be a student of your body. That's the best gift you can give yourself, is to be a student of your body and be an advocate for yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you how to be healthy. It's important to try different things and really just listen to your body. Listen to what it tells you. Okay, so coming back to my routine. So after I'm kind of doing that, and often I'll oil pull while I'm getting the house kind of ready. I'll go downstairs, put the coffee pot on, get the kids' lunches ready, things like that. Then I light up our diffuser in the morning, downstairs in the kitchen first thing. So I'll put, you know, some nice citrus oils in our diffuser, or I love to put peppermint and wild orange in our diffuser. So that's something that I do in the mornings just to shift the mood in our house. The kids love it. So I've got our diffuser going downstairs, get the kids out the door, then I come up to my office, and you can see kind of behind me, actually no you can't, and I can't move my phone. Okay, this is a very intricate setup I have going on here. Actually maybe you can see, not really. Anyway, I've got my salt lamp behind me and I have a diffuser in my office. I actually just posted this on Instagram this morning, my very first thing when I come into my office is, again, I put my diffuser on to create a nice vibe in my home office. I always put either lemon essential oil or grapefruit essential oil in my water. I drink about 4 liters a day. So I have my water on my desk. I love to use lemon or grapefruit in my water because they're not hot oils, and essential oils do not emulsify in your water. So if you were to add something like peppermint, which I do sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit of occasional tummy upset, I'll add, do you like that I use the word tummy? I'm such a mom right now. I'll add citrus oils to I'll add peppermint to my water if you know, certain times call for that, because it's very calming. But I prefer to use citrus oils in my water because I love the way they make me feel. I feel like this has been a real point of cleansing for my body. I actually had some work done last week called biofeedback, and they could actually read energetically from my body. My body is in a continual high state of cleansing, higher than what they typically see. So I really attribute that to my water intake, very high water intake, and I love grapefruit. It's actually it's been shown in research to boost glutathione in the body, which is a very important antioxidant for detoxification. So, and they're safer oils to use, right? They're not going to be hot or cause issues in your throat. If you were to put something like oregano, especially something like doTERRA's oregano in there, that's going to be way too hot and dangerous for your throat. So I would not recommend that. Yes, I use Swell bottles. I love them. They keep hot liquids hot and cold cold. So they're great, and your essential oils are safe in this. You do not want to use plastic when you're using essential oils. So anyway, I drink, you know, I have my essential oils in my water that way. Sometimes I'll add essential oils to our cooking, I love to add them to green smoothies. I love ginger essential oil in my juices. So I'm actually running a cleanse right now. I know a lot of you are participating in this cleanse with me this week. We have about 500 or 600 people doing the detox. And so a lot of us are increasing our juicing and our smoothies. So a lot of us are using that with some of our essential oils. Oh man, like honestly, what don't I do with oils? I make everything as well. So I make all of my own cleaners using essential oils. Again, citrus oils are really great for this. You can add them to vinegar and water and make a lot of cleaners, baking soda, to make a paste when you're cleaning. I make my own everything. Laundry detergent. If you want to look for some really great recipes, doTERRA's blog, so doTERRAblog.com. They have phenomenal recipes on there, and you can get a sense for all the things that you can make using your essential oils. They just add very cleansing superpower benefits to a lot of the products that you're making. Okay, so aside from that, I mean, there's the daily stuff. Like I use essential oils to clean our produce. At nighttime when the kids, so I have a nice routine with my kids. I will often put half a cup of Epsom salts, and sometimes I'll add some baking soda to that. I'll add about 2 drops of lavender to their tub, and I'll add it right to the salt so it helps emulsify. And thank you guys for the love. That's so sweet. And then my kids will sit in the tub. I don't even use soap actually with them, because my one daughter had extreme eczema when she was a child. So I'm very cautious with what I put on her skin. And the Epsom salts and the lavender have really helped with her skin healing, and just supporting better skin, really. It's just been phenomenal for her. So they have a bath every other night, and that's what I do with them. And while they're in the bath, I turn on their diffuser in their bedroom, and I love to use a blend doTERRA has called Serenity. So it has lavender in it, but it's a little bit softer, I find. And yeah, so I get this question a lot. Let me just comment on the eczema question. So my daughter had eczema for her whole first year of life, and it was a real journey for me. It was really tough. And I did some things internally with nutrition. So if you're interested in what I did, I started, when she started on solid foods, I started supplementing her with about half a teaspoon of fish oil that had EPA and DHA in it. And I used doTERRA's brand. And I started giving her gelatin to help heal her gut, and activated charcoal to help draw out what was happening, because basically with eczema, a lot of what's showing on the skin is a result of tears in the stomach lining called leaky gut. So there are things going into the blood that shouldn't be, and the body's reacting. It's showing itself in the skin. So gelatin helps to heal with that. Well, and so does the fish oil. Yes, doTERRA sells fish oil, and it's great. It doesn't taste like fish at all. It has a really nice orange flavor. And probiotics. So those are the 4 things I added nutritionally. I cut out a lot of the common triggers: soy, strawberries, tomatoes. I think those were the most common ones. Oh, dairy. Dairy is the worst for kids that have eczema. Across the board, it's hands down. It's probably the hardest to remove, especially if you have toddlers who love, cheese and milk. It is hard to remove, but it'll make one of the biggest differences. And then topically, what I did was I used, yes, same for adults, for sure. This would help. I mean, I think a lot of adults, dietary wise, it's often going to be the biggest change for them. Topically, I created a salve for her skin that had shea butter, coconut oil, and beeswax. And that just helped to solidify. I put it on a double burner. I took it off the stove, and then I added frankincense, lavender, and melaleuca. So I started off with a real low dilution of those oils. I put, I think if you had like a tablespoon of the like coconut oil, shea butter, and beeswax, I added, it was basically like 2 drops of essential oil to a tablespoon. So I used those oils. doTERRA has a product called Correctex, which I highly recommend now. It's very healing essential oils in a pre-made, like a jelly, basically. Okay, and then after the kids get out of bed and we do their routine at night is when I really try to ramp up my self-care. So I will use doTERRA's like skincare system. They have a beautiful skincare system called Virage. It's all plant-based, and it's just, I love it so much. And I'll spend a little extra time on my skin. And then a couple nights a week, I love to take a bath. Same thing. My favorite oils in the bath, I love actually using, doTERRA has an emotional aromatherapy kit. I'm not sure how many of you have it, but I love picking blends from that kit, and I'll add just 1 drop because the drops are really intense. So thank you. So the drops are really intense, so I'll just add 1 drop, and they're just these beautiful blends. So sometimes it's interesting, if I've had like a really long day where I've been like burning the candle and perhaps being too hard on myself, I'll put like a drop of doTERRA's Forgive in the bath, because it's like I'm forgiving myself. Megan, I've been doing doTERRA now for about 2 years. So yeah, Peace Blend is really pretty too. So yeah, so I like to have a bath. I like to make a face mask sometimes real easy with green clay and apple cider vinegar and some frankincense or lavender mixed into that. Here's the thing I love about essential oils is it's very intuitive, and it's just so great to, I mean, if you could see my desk right now, I have like handfuls of oils all around me all the time, you know? And I just kind of, they're like our little friends. You just, when you're in the moment and you need something, right, Amy? You just grab what you need and it's there, and your body kind of tells you what you need. All right. And then at the end of the day, I love using cedarwood. Cedarwood is my favorite oil for sleep. So I love to, I'll either diffuse it or I'll put it on the bottoms of my feet, give myself a little foot rub, put some foot socks on, and it's great. So that's a little peek into my day with oils. That was a long answer, but I do have a more thorough image showing how I use oils if you go to my Instagram feed. That's at HOL_FIT. All right, my legal notepad here with your questions. Okay, so there were some more business building questions here. This may bore some of you who aren't in our network marketing business, doTERRA. So anyway, I'll address some of these questions. So for those of you that doesn't interest, go ahead and make yourself a tea. Yeah, you know, a lot of those things that I mentioned, the gelatin, clay, etc., you can find at almost any health food store today or Whole Foods. If you're looking for somewhere online, I would look at iHerb. That seems to be a good place for finding a lot of these things. doTERRA has a lot of the, incredible supplements that I mentioned. One of the best probiotics I've ever used, and the best multivitamin line. So, you know, you can find it through various places. Okay, tips on branding. So I've actually done scopes on this before. If you want to look at my Catch channel, you can go to katch.me. And my biggest tip on branding is to just be really clear about who you are as a person. Think about the experiences you have been through in your life. Think about the lessons you've learned. Think about the gifts that you have that no one else has. And some people struggle with that question sometimes, where they feel like they don't have something unique to offer. We all do. And my biggest message to you is really, nobody else can do what you do the way you do it, because nobody else has had the journey you have had. So I find that very exciting. And I didn't always understand what that meant, right? I didn't always understand that we are all this, you know, I was this unique collage of experiences in my life. And because of that, I have something very unique to offer the world. I have a perspective that no one else has, and all of you do too. You all have a unique perspective. So when it comes to branding, I think it's really understanding, you know, what inspires you and gives you joy, and really asking yourself, when people come across your posts, let's say you're looking to brand yourself on, you know, Instagram or Facebook. When people come across your posts, what do you want them to feel? You know, what experience do you want them to have when they see something from you? And commit to staying in that vibe. You know, it's kind of like, you know, so Angela just posted the word happy. She wants people to feel happy when she comes across her post. So something you might want to do is create like a branding board, and think about what colors and what images and what types of things make you happy. And then everything you do should have a thread to that. You know, I love people to feel loved and to feel playfulness when they come across my branding. So I use hearts in a lot of what I do. I use pink and neon and fonts that feel that way to me. And it's very intentional what I do in my branding, as all branding is. And I'm not a branding expert, but what I have seen is this is what really helps you find your people. Is if everything you do has that same feeling, then people are when they come across your posts, they're gonna feel like they've come home, they've arrived, they have found someone just like them. And that's the most important part of branding. I mean, the second piece of this is that you are actually providing a solution for people and not just producing noise. right? We live in a super noisy world. There is so much out there. There's so much noise out there that, you know, it's sometimes really hard to find our own way. And so I would say, like, learn from the people who produce noise, learn what you will not do. Be somebody who serves other people and provides a solution because of your experiences, because of what you've learned and what has helped you in your life. That puts you in a position to serve others. Okay. Somebody asked about building. So actually the structuring of their business. I think the question was, you have 2 strong legs and 1 weak leg. What should you do? It depends. Sometimes it depends on how much volume that weaker leg is bringing in your business. If it doesn't make sense to try to continue on with that leg, then yes, you may want to start fresh, start under a new leader. But if you have a good amount of volume, the first thing I would always do is talk to the people you have in that 3rd leg and find out who has dreams, who has a vision for themselves, who maybe it might surprise you. So I would get on the phone with people you have in that team who are maybe underneath somebody who's not building the way that you initially saw them building, and see who else you have in that leg that might have that vision and those dreams for themselves, because that's what you can work with. If you don't have that, then you know, when you find your next great person, if you have volume worth keeping, then I would put that great person somewhere in that leg. That's what I do. There might be, you know, other opinions on that. Okay, your weak leg wants to build, but at a slow pace. She doesn't have any builders. So that's okay, because the thing is, it sounds like your timing is just not the same timing as your leader, as that builder, right? So maybe they want to move a little slower. So that's okay. You know, if you're moving a little bit quicker than some of them, then just be prepared to be supporting a little bit more. So if you have, you know, your builder will, I'm sure with time, get there, because your development and the way that you rise will cause your team to rise, and to be inspired and to think and dream bigger. Doesn't happen for everybody, and that's okay. So if you're moving a little bit faster, it just means that you'll be doing a little bit more support of those people that perhaps you're enrolling and getting started. But you know, those people will come. And I think the greater care we take of people that we are enrolling, the more people will start to have that vision for themselves, and those builders will emerge. How to find leaders for your business? Well, you know, I think when we think about attraction and what attracts us to somebody, I think the most important part of this is be the kind of person that people would want to work with, that would want to follow. Don't do it the way anyone else is doing it. Be you, be the full you, so that when people come across you or see your posts, they're drawn to you. They want to work with you. That's how you attract leaders to your team. Leadership, you know, people attract people because they're living the kind of lifestyle people want for themselves. Leadership is very different from management in that way. You're not dictating to people, you're inspiring action. So I think that, you know, just focus on you. Focus on keeping yourself in a high state of you know, living the lifestyle that you're talking about, and talk about it and show people that you're living that life. Yeah, Keely mentioned, you know, talk about the business. So if you're teaching a class, let's say you brought people together to learn about your products, be strong and be confident in the opportunity you have to give someone to change their life, and the opportunity that this type of business model provides somebody. It's life-changing. And if you have reservations about it, then you need to sort that out. You need to practice it. You need to talk to yourself in the mirror, practice your business story and the opportunity that you have for somebody to grow with you in this. Because the reality is, like, this business model is the business model of the future. People are very excited about the idea of being an entrepreneur. I think we all are. You know, whether we are doing it already, if you're listening to me right now and you've often thought about building, you know, your own business because you love the idea of being in control of your calendar and earning what you're truly worth, and not somebody else. That's very appealing to many people. But starting your own business is very expensive. You know, it takes years, it takes a lot of investment. So this is why network marketing or multi-level marketing or MLM, they're all the same thing. This is why this is so appealing to people. So the most important thing is find a product you believe in. Find a product that you believe in so much that you would talk about it even if you weren't being paid. That's the right business for you. And your leaders will be attracted to you. You've got to be visible. You have to find a way to be visible. So whether that's social media, using things like Instagram or Periscope or Facebook or blogging, you have to be visible. People are not just going to come out there and find you. You have to make yourself somebody that they can find, right? And you have to literally build your audience in some way and give a lot of value to people so that they are curious about what you're doing and then they want to be part of that journey with you. Okay, somebody asked, I can't remember the exact question, but it was around how to build a servant leadership team. And whoever asked that, I think it's a really unique question. So maybe expand out a little bit on what you're thinking there. But, you know, it's the idea of, and I'm actually preparing, I'm preparing to present at our company's leadership retreat in February. And I really love the idea and the topic of, you know, leaders go first. They not only pave the way, it's like they're clearing the way for others who maybe their belief isn't quite there yet. They need to see somebody doing it first, right? So if you think about anybody that you're inspired by or attracted to, it's because they're likely living the kind of life you dream of and see of for yourself. So I think servant leadership is really about going first and serving people with your gifts, and that's the kind of work that never feels like work. When you are aligned with who you are and what you have to give the world, and you give from your heart, that inspires others to do the same. Yeah, The Servant Leader, Ken Blanch, that's a book. Yeah, so that's a great book to read on the topic. All right, so we're coming up to 3 o'clock. Let's take a couple more questions. I think I've gone through the list. I'm going to come back to the Zoom room at the end. I'll take a look through your chat. Oils for newborns. So I did already talk about this at the beginning of the scope, but basically just start super slow. I mean, there are some oils. Hold on, let me take down some questions here. Key to success in doTERRA. How I grew in the beginning. Okay. I've got 3 questions here, and then I'm gonna hop over to the Zoom group. So I'll cap the questions for today. Such great questions, you guys. Oils for newborns, real quick. There are some oils like peppermint that can be too stimulating on little lungs. So again, just start super small, super diluted, 1 drop in a diffuser across the room. Make sure, you know, your child's not having any kind of negative interactions with the oils. If you're starting off very diluted and just kind of, you know, as with anything new, right? We would do the same thing with new foods and hopefully with new medications or vaccinations. We do our homework, right? That's what we do as advocates for our babies. So just, you know, start diluted. And again, my number 1 question is, what would you have used instead? Okay, so if your baby, for example, is having some respiratory issues, would you have reached for a product filled with petrochemicals, or would you be more open to diffusing something like a respiratory blend? It really comes down to just sometimes making the decision that feels better in the moment. And every child is different. You know, there's just really, this is why you won't see super clear recommendations around using oils and at what age to start, because every body is different. So I would say just start really diluted and watch. how did I grow my business in the beginning? All through local, shoulder to shoulder. I held a lot of classes. I said yes to every opportunity to get in front of people, to give them the options that essential oils bring. So I started there. Social media, we were actually just talking about this on our team Zoom call today. Social media is really one other way people start to experience things like essential oils or whatever it is that you're up to and recommending, let's say, or building a business around. People, I think it's important that people see you, see examples of ways that you live the lifestyle, the ways that you use the product you're talking about, for example. So that's what I believe social media does. I wouldn't say that I built my business using social media per se, but I think it certainly went a long way in building trust and relationships with people, and that they saw I was somebody who walked the talk. When I would do classes, a lot of the times, in my first year of building my doTERRA business, I taught 2 to 3 classes a week. It was very busy. I don't know if I would do it again. It was a little tiring, but it was just one of those situations where there was a lot of momentum happening and people were very, very interested in learning what I had to share. So I said yes to every opportunity. And that's where all of us really start. You build shoulder to shoulder in your local area. I know people who have moved purposely to build their business because they feel like they've kind of tapped out their market and they have these dreams for themselves. So they have moved to new areas just to expand their community. Thanks, Keely. Yeah, if you want to follow me, my website's holfit, hol-fit.com. And you can find me on Instagram at the same handle as Periscope, HOL_FIT. Okay, keys to success in this business. Well, I feel like I've kind of touched on this already, but number one, it's just staying true to who you are, knowing who you are, and don't try to do it the way anyone else has done. It was funny in the beginning when we were first building on our team. Because I'm a health coach, I taught a lot of people that came out to my classes how to teach about the oils from a health coach's perspective, right? So a lot of some of the blocks for a lot of the leaders on my personal team were that they tried to teach it the same way I was teaching, and I didn't know enough at the time to know to make it more simple than that, to teach in a way that was duplicatable and in a way that they could do it so that they could shine in their own way. And if I could go back and do anything over again, I would have focused more on that with my team and helping them learn their signature approach, their message, to weave that in. I'm a presidential diamond. So that I think is number one, is just stay true to who you are. And there's a lot of things you can do to figure out what that is, but I think number one is, if you're building, let's say you're building a business in doTERRA, what drew you to the oils? Just write out your product story. What got you looking at them in the first place? Because in that is what you're going to really brand on. That's who you're meant to help, because there are a lot of people who need to learn from you. And that really does position you as somewhat of an expert for people, because you have walked through what they're going to walk through, right? Okay, so for those of you on Periscope, I have the Zoom room open as well. So I just want to go back and see if we had any questions. Trish asked, have you ever had a class and the people know more than you? This is a brilliant question, and actually this is a brilliant way to build your business, is to open up your classes by letting people know you don't consider yourself an expert in what you're about to present. You just are so passionate about these products and what they've done for your life that you can't help but share. And perhaps maybe you never saw yourself teaching classes like this, but because the oils have made such a difference in your life, you want to share them with others. Because what this does, I think that there are some people who may come to your classes, and if you're feeling like they're challenging you on a lot of things, that might just be their vibe. That just might be, they might be like that in life with everyone. So it's okay. And I think, the best thing to do is to be open to learning from other people as well, and to have a heart for doing that. So don't let that hold you back. But for most people, it's like that saying, to a first grader, a second grader is brilliant. Okay. Jennifer asked, one of my biggest challenges is figuring out sponsor placement. So placement in your teams in the beginning is really just kind of aligning your volumes so that you are growing a healthy business and waiting for those business builders to emerge. And often people don't have those people in the beginning, so they're kind of picking somebody and just structuring under them, right? And we all did that. I mean, I probably have like 30 people on my front line or something ridiculous too. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. So, you know, you kind of, you pick somebody, you start growing deeper, right? Until that builder emerges. And then that's when the magic happens. When you have somebody who's linking arms with you and building the business, now it becomes a little bit more clear. But in the beginning, you do your best. You just kind of, you know, and the culture of doTERRA has the highest retention rate in the whole network marketing industry, right? So you'll have a lot of very passionate product users, and so that's okay if you don't have that solid builder yet. You know, that's something certainly that we can discuss a little bit more as your team grows. It's an evolving puzzle. One person can change everything in your business. Question came up, can you be financially stable with doTERRA? I believe you can be way more than just financially stable with doTERRA. I believe that doTERRA or really any network marketing business that you're involved in, that you believe in, is a business that will promote full abundance in your life and complete freedom. It's probably the only business that can assure you of that, and here's why. You are working with the exact same compensation plan and product as every single other person in your organization. So because of that, if, again, coming back to the question about branding, if you can be very clear on who you are and who you are meant to work with and who you can serve with your gifts, you just keep doing that, babe. You keep doing that. You stay consistent. You don't give up, because this is the business model that will reward you for serving others. So you can be much more than stable. You could be in a position where you are literally given a massive stage to change lives, because you are not bound by finances or by time anymore. So imagine that kind of a life. Many of us are living where we own our time. I fully wanted to be on this scope today with you guys, and I could make that happen because there's no one else telling me what I need to do with my day. Pretty cool. My kids are coming home from school in a half an hour, and I get to be with them doing whatever we want until they go to bed tonight. There's nobody else dictating how I spend my time. I'm in a business model. I will never have to worry about finances again for the rest of my life. It puts me in a position where I can just be me and experience joy in what I do. I hope that answers your question. If you're in an opportunity, you know, that has a plan where it is equal playing ground with everybody else, then stick with it, stay consistent, and don't give up. All right. Okay, awesome. I'll take one more question. Does anybody have one more question out there in Periscope land? Soul Sisters is right. I wish I was in Dominican with you last week. Age of fish oil for kids. All right. So again, I started with fish oil when my daughter was 9 months, and I started off with about 1/4 teaspoon. Really, again, probably one of the best ways to know this. I mean, I've been talking a little bit online about biofeedback. You can see my Instagram I posted last week. Hi, Lee. Lee's on Periscope. Amy's on Zoom. So again, one of the best indications of too many fats in the diet is slippery poop. So if you're introducing something like fish oil to your babies, watch their diapers and just see. Key indications of not needing enough or not having enough. Yeah, Dr. BJ Hardick is one of my really good friends. I don't go to him for chiropractic, but we often meet up for dates. So adding omega-3s is a very good decision for your kids. And I would say just watch their poops, watch their digestion. You'll know if you're giving them too much by their poops. So omega-3s are very important for brain health, for skin health. So if your child has, really dry skin and often it's a sign of low omega-3s. If they can't focus, your brain is almost entirely protected by fats, and what you're eating, the type of fats you're eating, literally makes your brain. So protects your brain and protects all the firing that's happening. So it's really important that we're not eating a lot of trans fats in our diet, because that ends up making up what's protecting our brain. So I would say start them off with about a 1/4 teaspoon. You can add it into a smoothie or something. And just watch how their body responds. And then most fish oils will give you a recommendation of what age to start them on and what amount. Yeah, and my kids absolutely love doTERRA's fish oil. It doesn't taste like fish at all. It has I actually use it to make salad dressings because it has this really nice orange infusion to it. So I'll often use it because you wouldn't want to cook with fish oil. All right, great questions, you guys. I've got to go eat something before my kids get home. I've got about 15 minutes, and I've been blabbing away for the last 2.5 hours with my team and on here. So thank you, guys. I think what I'm going to do is a bi-weekly Periscope Q&A. So we won't be on next week. We'll be on in 2 weeks again. And to my doTERRA team, for those of you that have hung on so long here, thanks for joining. I hope I got to all your questions. All right, we'll see you all soon. Thanks for the love, you guys. This will be up on Periscope for the next 24 hours or so. Oh. Thanks, these are fun. It's nice to do Q&As. Okay, I'll see you guys later.